Every second, an invisible web of glowing arteries pumps cargo across the oceans. Trace these sprawling routes back, and they converge on a single 120-mile stretch in Egypt, the Suez Canal. 12% of all global trade is forced through this narrow bottleneck. Because this complex logistics network usually hums along without a hitch, we treat the shipping industry like a flawless, automated machine. The pinnacle of that machine is the Ever Given. Built in 2018, this vessel was designed to be the ultimate maritime workhorse. To understand its physical footprint, you have to picture a floating skyscraper. At 400 meters long and 59 meters wide, it takes up roughly the same area as 4 standard city blocks. It can hold over 20,000 individual shipping containers and cut through the ocean at nearly 23 knots. Yet on March 23, 2021, this marvel of modern engineering came to a dead, grinding halt. Despite its advanced systems and structural integrity, the vessel fell victim to the inherent unpredictability of human operation. The ship drifted off its axis and wedged diagonally across the canal, burying its bow deep into the Egyptian desert. The Ever Given has a draft of 15.7 meters. That means almost 16 meters of solid steel hull sits beneath the waterline. When the ship veered toward the edge, that massive underwater profile plowed directly into the muddy banks, effectively locking the vessel in place. So how does a highly advanced megaship end up stuck in the dirt? To find the answer, we have to look past the physical hull and step inside the bridge. It's a control center packed with radar, wind sensors, and automated navigation systems. The hardware worked exactly as intended. The failure occurred entirely within the complex operating system of the people running it. The operational structure of a ship like the Ever Given is incredibly layered. You have a Taiwanese company, Evergreen, managing the logistics, actively navigating through an Egyptian-controlled waterway with local canal pilots. Add another variable to that mix. The physical handling of the ship itself was executed by a predominantly Indian crew. This is where we hit the concept of maritime culture. It's the invisible framework of unspoken rules, chain of command, and mutual cultural understanding required to run a megavessel safely. Navigating a sandstorm in a narrow passage requires more than technical skill. It requires absolute linguistic and hierarchical alignment between the pilots and the bridge crew. In a moment of extreme stress, minor variations in command terminology or cultural deference can disrupt the split-second coordination needed to keep the ship centered. The grounding was the final result of a fracture in that fragile synchronicity. When the multinational communication loop on the bridge failed, human error took control of the rudder. The Ever Given remained trapped there for 144 agonizing hours before salvage crews finally managed to refloat it on March 29th. During those 6 days, a massive backlog of hundreds of cargo ships accumulated at both ends of the canal, trapping billions of dollars in capital on the water. Even after the passage was cleared, the shockwaves of delayed shipments, misplaced empty containers, and factory shortages rippled through the global economy for months. A simple misunderstanding in one narrow waterway instantly paralyzed industries halfway across the planet. The shipping industry is obsessed with scale. We constantly push for vessels that are larger, faster, and more automated, while spending a fraction of that energy on the people inside them. We have maxed out the physics of what a cargo ship can carry, but we've completely ignored the psychological limits of the crews tasked with steering them. Fostering a cohesive maritime culture isn't some secondary HR initiative. It is an absolute requirement for modern global trade to function. The greatest vulnerability in our supply chain isn't a canal's width or a steel hull. It is the human beings steering the ship.